Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines we have for you today. Binance is in the news. Janet Yellen's more delusional than a Bitcoin maxi. And we're going to hear from a Bitcoin maxi, too. Hodl Law is going to tell us about the SEC's admission of Ethereum. And where does that leave the spot ETFs? Aussie CBDC pilot is complete. We'll hear from Dilip Rao. You're going to want every bit of it. How about a 63,400% surge in XRP price? And how about an XRP treasure map to see where we're going in the near term? Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube for exclusive content. Right now, it's $1.21 trillion market cap for crypto, and the market is off by 0.99%. Good afternoon. Bitcoin, 29,000 plus. We see 1,800 plus for Ethereum. Tether market cap, 83.8 billion plus right now. 66 cents for XRP. I'm sorry. Yeah, 66 cents for XRP. We're off by 3.18 in the 24-hour and off by 6.87% on the 7-day. That's where we're at right now. And this is Glint. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is a remarkable feature that they're bringing to their service here. If you want effortlessly accumulate gold over time, introducing Glint's repeat gold buy feature. Yes, that's right. Listen, Glint is the alternative to the banking system. It is gold spent as cash in your hand. You get physically allocated gold stored in a Brinks vault that is your gold. It is insured by the Lloyd's of London. It is an app on your phone. You could tie it to a MasterCard debit card and spend it like cash. And you could also put a repeat set on your feature to buy gold, or on your app, so you can buy gold with this new feature. And it is really remarkable being your own alternative to bank, having your own alternative to banking. Click the link for Glint underneath the video. Everyone's doing it. Right here, speaking of everyone's doing it, Binance reaches 150 million users. That is approximately half of the population of the USA. Let that sink in for a minute. Yeah, Binance is getting it done. And we know that they've been targeted around the world, too, by regulators. So keep an eye on it. Right here, oh boy. Well, first of all, let me give you this from Janet Yellen.
Overall annual inflation has declined every month for the past year, and our economy continues to grow. In the longer term, the United States remains the world's largest, most dynamic, and most innovative economy, with the strongest financial system in the world. Fitch's decision is puzzling in light of the economic strength we see in the United States. I strongly disagree with Fitch's decision, and I believe it is entirely unwarranted.
Oh, boy. You know, you're the U.S. Treasurer, and somehow, out of everyone else who understands why the U.S. dollar's been downgraded, you don't. The one person who should understand why it's happened doesn't understand it. Janet Yellen strongly disagrees with the Fitch rating decision. Someone needs to explain to Janet that she forgot to carry the one while doing the math. All eyes now, for me, are on BRICS and the new member announcement. If Saudi Arabia joins BRICS, and it's announced at this August summit in South Africa, August 22nd through the 24th, I think we better watch out, because I think we're going to see a new level of a crap show when it comes to the U.S. dollar. Just saying. Oh, boy. All right. Well, we're not done yet. And I promise you there's going to be good stuff when we move past this, too. No fault to Natalie Brunell. I mean, God bless her. She loves Bitcoin. I'm just going to give you a piece of this. It's out of control.
Was hacked. Crypto stocks following Bitcoin lower on the news. And then, of course, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong claimed that the SEC asked the company to halt trading in all assets except Bitcoin. Armstrong saying that the demand would have, quote, essentially meant the end of the crypto industry in the U.S. That is a claim that Coinbase is now walking back. Joining us now, Coin Stories podcast host and Bitcoin educator, Natalie Brunell. Natalie, what do you make of this Bitcoin versus all other assets? What is the security? What is the commodity? And why are we not clumping them together?
Hi, thanks so much for having me back. Well, I think this all highlights the confusion and chaos that the crypto industry is really struggling with. And what you can take away from this past week and the statements from Coinbase and the SEC and all the developments is that clearly there is a lot of uncertainty with regard to the future of these crypto exchanges and non-Bitcoin crypto tokens. There are disagreements between various attorneys and various judges that will stretch out into legal battles for years. But the one thing that is certain, the one thing everybody agrees on, is that Bitcoin is a well-engineered, valuable, global digital asset that has a long future ahead of it. And whether you're an institutional investor or retail investor, if you want clarity, if you want the safe haven digital asset, then the least uncertain thing in the space is Bitcoin.
But now, oh my God. Okay, I got to turn it off. Natalie, no offense. I don't mean to be combative here, but that is absolutely false. It is everything you just said. First of all, the protocol, let's talk about the protocol for a second. And I'm no developer and I don't pretend to be, but I'll tell you this, the SHA-256 algorithm that makes up Bitcoin is patented by the NSA. Look it up. Okay? Here's the other part. It's slow, it's clunky, and it costs a lot to use it. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't have value, but these things are real, right? Just like what else is real is that there is an asset that actually has legal clarity, Natalie. It's XRP. And no, Bitcoin does not have legal clarity. I do not say this as a maxi. I say this as someone who has watched a regulator like the SEC wait for 8 years before taking action against a legitimate company that has been transparent like Ripple and the digital asset XRP. Bitcoin, for clarity, let's level set, ladies and gentlemen. Bitcoin does not, I repeat, does not have legal clarity. In fact, no digital asset has legal clarity in the United States except for XRP. And until we have a legal ruling saying otherwise, that's where we are today. Regulatory opinion is not legal clarity. I hope that helps. And Fred Rispoli is getting ready to put it over the fence too. Because Fred Rispoli from HODL Law breaks down how he got the SEC to admit that there's no clarity for Ethereum as well. Take a listen and keep an eye out for these interviews with Fred to come out over the weekend. All right, we're here with none other than Fred Rispoli from HODL Law. Fred, how are you?
I'm doing great. Little disappointed with the setback we had that I know we're about to talk about, but in the grand scheme of things, life is good.
Yeah, life is good. And you know what? And thank goodness for people like you and John Deaton out here willing to take up the calls to get some answers. And that's exactly what you were trying to do with the SEC push that you made against the SEC to get them to declare whether Ethereum was or was not a security. Tell us the breakdown of what you just received here.
But the court said, basically, that's not enough. You're not really showing me how to law, and I understand where the court's coming from. Respectfully disagree. We're disappointed, but the court did take an honest look at it and said, yes, there's all this uncertainty, there's all these issues with what the SEC is doing, but we just don't think, or this court doesn't think that the harm you're claiming the firm could suffer is real enough for me to go forward at this stage with the lawsuit. So it was, in that sense, a definite loss. But there were a couple other comments, I'll get into with you that, really solidified legally. We've got this is a written opinion now, that the SEC, doesn't have any final position on Ethereum. So it is still completely up in the air as to whether it's a security or not in the SEC's eyes. Again, I don't think the token itself is a security or the network itself, but it is unclear right now.
And there you have it right there. The SEC has admitted there's no clarity for Ethereum, and there is no legal ruling for Bitcoin, period. Full stop. No legal ruling. I need to see it if somebody's got it. And that brings the question right here about Ethereum futures that are already out here and the 6 applications that just recently went out for a ETF, spot ETF for Ethereum as well. With the SEC saying that there is no clarity or decision on what Ethereum actually is, are they going to approve it? And if they do approve it, it does not mean that that is the way the law of the land is. Remember, Ripple was approved by the SEC to do a partnership with MoneyGram. Then the SEC turned around after approving that and sued them. I'm just saying. Dilip Rao, former Ripple executive, shout out to him, says it's a wrap. All 15 use case pilots completed on 31st of July. Congratulations to all industry members that pulled together to make this real Australian CBDC pilot happen. Look out for the findings report next month. Now, why this is important to me is because all the way back in 2018, I was asking the question for myself and community because I wanted to know there was always a concern that retail could be phased out or shut out of this asset. Well, no more. And we know it now, right? And that doesn't mean that the SEC won't continue to fight to try to do that. But the reality is that we have won. And we do have legal clarity, but it has been hanging over this community for years. And that's how long we've been asking the question. But the right questions to ask now are really what we're looking at in the future. But I want to share this because I asked in 2018 about the idea of institutions transitioning away from retail into institutional flow because of the money. That's where the real use case and liquidity is. We understand that. We always have. Dilip Rao responded back, liquidity is an ocean with fish large and small, many varieties needed for an ecosystem to thrive and grow. Yes? You know, when I thought about this and I think about it in today's climate and what we know today, what he's describing sounds like he knew about automated market makers potentially back then. Because all of us, whether we are fish large and small, have the ability in this great ocean of XRP to be a part of this liquidity and participate as a market maker in an automated market maker. How about that? Maybe that's what he meant by that. Maybe it wasn't. But I tell you, it certainly seems today with the knowledge we have to be very informative. It reads quite differently to me now. And now the question is that we've gotten the answer about whether retail shut out or not. We are not shut out, right? So the question now is to go back and start looking at things that we have looked at for years, like R3. We all know that they had a pre-allocated option contract, and then they messed the deal up, right? And when they messed the deal up, that's when they went to court, and we don't know how it settled. It was behind closed doors, but the reality is that it's settled and it's over. But we have to ask ourselves, is R3 willing and will they use XRP now that there is legal clarity for the asset? And we certainly know that R3 did some early testing using XRP for their Corda platform. Is R3 prepared and set the stage to challenge Swift for Swift's role and using XRP knowing it has clarity? Are they set for that kind of a move? I don't know the answer, but I'm telling you, just like we asked the right questions in 2018, we had no idea that they would be sued, and then that became a whole thread about what was going on with the case. Can we keep it? Can we not keep it? Is it a security? Is it not a security? Well, now we're going back and asking some new questions. R3, what's going on? Will you be using XRP on that Corda platform like we know you can, now that we have legal clarity? Don't forget about the ISO 20022 standardization very quickly here. Standardization and efficiency will bring them all to FedNow, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, over 100 companies now and institutions, but we will see all of them at some point on that compliant standardization messaging language. There's no question you will see them, because it is the beginning of the Jevons paradox, which is just like what we saw with the standardization of the Industrial Revolution, right? With the way they burn more efficiently for the furnaces, and then because they could burn more efficiently, they could actually spend more when they were actually started out trying to save money. But they learned with the efficiency that they created with the standardization that they could actually increase production and actually spend more and make more, and that's how that goes. And the same thing happened in the shipping industry when the standardization of everybody having the same cranes, the same containers, the same trucks, the same kind of ships, then that efficiency has really opened up global trade like we have never witnessed it before. The same thing is about to happen in finance, I believe. Here we see on the brink over 60,000% surge as Flutter Wave revolutionized remittances here. We know they take advantage, a Ripple partner here, Flutter Wave, launches a new remittance app. Analyst predicts a potential 63,400% surge. But here's the biggest part about this, if you're not aware, that is the same percentage that it jumped back in 2017. Yes. Does it mean it'll happen again? No. Is it a guarantee? No. But what they're suggesting in this article, and I'm not going to read the article to you, is that the potential surge of XRP's value and the launch of Flutterwave's Send app are two key events that underline the transformative power of Ripple and its associated currency, XRP. And if it would replicate the 2017 move, it would be a $438 XRP at 63,400% surge if it replicates that and history repeats itself. I think the larger thing here is the narrative that I'm on to now, is that what they're pointing to here with Flutter Wave and the expansion into the US and Canada is there's more expansion taking place, which means that there will be more utility and more liquidity brought to the network, not just through Flutter Wave, but through everything. And ultimately, I believe connecting the domestic payment systems around the world like FedNow and others will also bring great benefits to XRP as a bridge currency. How long will all of that take? I could not tell you. But I do know I'm here for a short bag, and I'm here for short gains, and I'm damn sure here for the long ones too, no doubt about it. And a treasure map in the near term from Crypto Wizard says, whenever you feel bad, remember you have the treasure map and know what's coming. All your troubles will be history. And essentially what they're doing is taking a similar fractal of that historical moment and putting it right here and saying, if you look at this fractal and where we are here, we could see a $7 plus XRP in the near term. And look, if you're going to hit 400 plus, you got to hit 7 first. That's how this goes. I don't know where it goes, but I know one thing. I couldn't be more excited about the open highway for XRP and adoption throughout the world and now the United States. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. I'll catch all of you on the next one.